2014, Americans consumed 6.3 billion gallons of beer. That's on average of 20 gallons of beer per person. So let's now talk about how beer is made. Alcohol fermentation is defined as a series of chemical reactions that are converted from sugar molecules such as glucose to ethanol and carbon dioxide. The formula for beer is C6H12O6. That's converted into ethanol, which is 2CH3CH2OH plus carbon dioxide. To make beer, we need 4 ingredients. We need malted grains, hops, yeast, and water. First, you cook grains in water to create mash. You can add dark or lighter grains to help create the different types of beer. Dark grains will create a stout type of beer, whereas light grains will create a light beer such as a pilsner or a lager. Then the heat from the mash helps activate enzymes within the grains and begins breakdown of sugars into simple sugars. Next step is to remove the grains from the pot and boil the liquid. This is where hops are added, and the hops contain alpha and beta acids, which keep the beer from growing bacteria and help promote growth of survival of yeast. This also gives the beer its bitter and acidic taste. These acids help the beer keep it from spoiling, give the beer its distinct hoppy flavor. Hops add different types of flavor profiles such as pine, floral taste, or citrus. This liquid is rapidly cooled to prevent contamination and oxidation, which can change the taste of the beer. Then the yeast is added to start the fermentation process. The yeast eats up the sugars and simple starches in the wort and spits out carbon dioxide as ethanol is produced as a waste product. During the first phase of primary fermentation, there's a lot of yeast at work. All of the carbon dioxide is allowed to escape and the ethanol is left behind in the container. After 2 weeks or so, most of the sugar has been consumed by the yeast and most of the yeast has died. If there is more available sugar, the yeast has more food to eat, which produces more alcohol and a higher alcohol by volume. This is the standard measurement for beer alcohol. ABV is a measurement of alcohol content in beer. It's simply indicating how much of the total alcohol is in the liquid. After the ABV has been tested, some brewers opt to add more sugars or different types of sugars like brown sugar, sucrose, dextrose, honey, or palm sugar to increase the ABV to change the flavor of the beer. Here goes the second fermentation process where beer is transferred into bottles with a small amount of sugar to help fuel the remaining yeast through this last step. There you have it. That's how beer is made. Let's start drinking. Responsibly.